Go live. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Wednesday of Generational Wealth. We have a good show once again, ladies and gentlemen. It never ceases to amaze me on how we can always stay in the loop. You guys have been what has made me relevant in this community. As the slogan always say, the cavalry is not coming. The creek has rose, the levee has given way. It's up to us to save us. We have been on a roll for the past, I say, since last year in November, we kind of took off and we have not looked back. We have a great show tonight. We're going to keep it kind of light tonight. I've gotten a lot of feedback saying, Cepeda, you've been so serious. You're always talking about business. You're always talking about the money. And so I said, you know what? I can diversify, and we are going to bring in an icon in the community. The cavalry is not coming. The creek is rose, the levee is giving way. And you know what? In the African American community, we have always had a sense of humor. We've always been able to support entertainers. If it wasn't Muhammad Ali or if it wasn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, we've always had people that had the pulse of the community that we can always have a good time with. And so once again, we have local heroes like Red Fox. All of those people came from the bottom. They wasn't celebrities. They were celebrities in our community before we showcased them to the world. And so sometimes we just gotta just take a look back, take a step back, and just look at what we have done, look at what we have created. Tonight, we got one of our own in our community. He's a legend in our community. He's an influencer in our community. He's an entertainer in our community. He's a father in our community. But more so than that, he's a man in our community and a brother. He is the latest addition to Mad Capital. He's the latest addition to what we're trying to accomplish here of getting 100 people into home ownerships. He's my sidekick, my right-hand man, my road dog, whatever you want to call it. That's what he is. But he tells me to keep hustling hard. So for the
Hustle
past
hard.
weeks, he's been trying to get me to hustle hard, been working out, staying up, keep grinding, no excuses, just results. So without any further ado, let's bring in our man, Dino Dyson. Congratulations, Dino. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing well, Mr. Jackson. How are you?
Oh, man, we're doing well. Hey, listen, let's get straight to it, Dino.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit what you do, how do you do it, how you have impacted community. Let's start there. What you do, how you do it, and how do you impact our community?
Okay. Well, just to start, I do a lot of things. I've found myself being a tradesman of many kinds. I cannot stop putting myself together with having a different flow of revenue for myself. But in the entertainment field, I've gotten to doing podcasting. I have a podcast called All That Smoke.
All that
Which is a
smoke.
podcast, All That Smoke, which is it's more of a podcast that just doesn't deal with music. It deals with political. It deals with talking about subjects and subject matter that some people would sweep up under the rug. I tell them I want all that smoke, so we're going to talk about it. So I made that a big platform for me to get out to the community. When I started that, I was supposed to start it with another, and they were slow moving their feet. So I went ahead and made sure that we had this platform to get out there as black men to talk about what needed to be talked about. And I had a young lady from New Jersey who was my co-host on there. Gave great insight, having the female side of things, and we started that podcast, and it really blew up to something that I couldn't even imagine because it reached all kinds of people. It reached entertainment. It reached the fact of the matter that there are people here in the community that want to see black men like myself flourish, and they want to know exactly what's paining us, what's aching us, and everything. And I did that with bringing All That Smoke podcast to the light.
Wow, wow. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, in our own community. So when people say that we don't support one another, here we seeing once again, this is entertainment, news that you can use. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Cavalry's not coming. The creek is rose. The levee is giving way. It's up to us to save us. It's time that we bet on ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been watching the show, let share this with somebody. Get on your podcast, share it, bring your family in. We ready to turn up. We ready to have a good time, and we're going to talk about some major issues that's going on in our community right now. So let's get it. Let's get to it. So the first time, I must be remiss. The first time I met Mr. Dino, he was kind of a unique guy because I met him through another employee, and what happened was he does entertainment. He's a comedian, and he has this guy who when I first saw him, he was a leprechaun, and I was like, this is crazy, and he actually pulled it off, and I was impressed. And so from then on, I have been a big fan of Dino and what's his name?
Lumiere never sleeps.
Lumiere. And Lumiere, and let's talk about Lumiere. Lumiere is a guy or character that is me. That's who he is. He's me. And so he didn't realize that he was mimicking me. But one of the things that we want to celebrate in our community is that it doesn't always have to be serious. With us coming out of the pandemic, with the economy in the condition that it's in, and we have generational wealth. One of the things that we want to pride ourselves in, that we can still smile. After everything that we done been through, we done lost loved ones, we done failed, we done been laughed at, we've been killed at an all-time high. We have done a whole lot. But once again, we are still here and we need to smile. We need to have a good time. You know, some people say your next step or your next thing that's coming in, or we have a lot of different movements talking about tomorrow. But, you know, we are living right here today, and we need to celebrate us right here today. And so when I spoke to Dino, I was glad that he was wanting to be a part of what we was doing. He came in and said, hey, Cepeda, regardless of what you got going on, I want to be a part of it. And guess what happened? The first time he got on a Facebook Live, he blew me out of the water. Let me tell you, I normally have about 300 or 400 people that come on my show, right? So that's how many people I have to watch my show. Do y'all know that he almost tripled that in less than 40 minutes, an hour? He had over 1,000 people watching him. So that is a lot of people in our community talking about home ownership. So Dino, kind of tell us, how did you get so many people following you?
Well, I mean, that was just a thing of the things that I've done already in the community. At one point in time, I did work for the Office of Public Health and Safety, and I wanted to get out here in the community as an outreach worker to give people the information that they needed to get them any kind of resources that would help them in the hard times that we've been going through. It's like you said, you know, we have to remember in our community, there's not a lot of friendly faces that want to give you information that can make you better. And I
Wow.
was one of those faces. So it changed the narrative. You know, it kind of made people think like, you know, if he can look like this and give me some resource to help me, then, you know, hey, we all ain't all that bad, you know, and maybe I could do something to change. And it's kind of going back to you, Mr. Jackson, because I remember when you helped me, the one main thing you told me, you said, brother, don't hold on to this information. Let everybody know that I helped you and that this is a process that can be done with anybody and everybody. It's not just you. I can help and we can help anybody. And that's what I've been doing. So when I did that live, I was not expecting to sit up there and have 1,000
Yeah, you
people.
did. Yeah,
You
you did.
know,
You threw me
I
up under
did.
the bus. You threw me up
I
under the
did.
bus.
But I
So, you
know
know,
this.
you got to be careful when you let these influencers come on your show because they will take over and they will take over. But once again, he has been promoting the show. He's been promoting everything that we have done here.
Yeah.
We have really enjoyed success on this Facebook Live. We've really been able to really compliment one another. He has been in a position to really help a lot of people talking about. Now, we want to stress this, and as far as a disclaimer, he's not a real estate agent. He's not even a loan officer, okay?
I'm
The
not.
only thing he's doing is bringing people in and telling them about how I can help them. And that's what we have been doing.
Yes, sir. Yes,
People
sir.
have been astonished on what we have been able to do here at Mad Capital Investment Group within a short period of time. So, Dino, let me ask you some questions about the entertainment business. How does that impact our community? How have you seen that impact our community?
Well, you got to know that people need to unwind. Like you said, during this pandemic, we had a lot of people who were stuck in the house. They've gotten shell shocked to even go outside because of the violence. But then when they find places where they can actually go and enjoy themselves, that's what we need. And that's why I wanted to put my hand back into making sure that I do more stand-up shows, whether it's an open mic or a scheduled show that I have here in the city. I've also done a lot of stand-up going out of the city. I've been in Florida. I've been in Illinois. I've been in Michigan. I've been to Ohio to do shows now. And my whole thing was with the way that people are right now, they want to have that relief to be able to laugh and not worry about a check or your bills or your kids getting harmed or you getting harmed for simply trying to go pump your gas. Like, this is the life that we live in right now. But, at the same time, we can all make it better by trying to make somebody smile. And I think that's going to be one of my biggest things is to do something for the community, not only with resources and information, because like you said, and information is a big thing for our community. Everybody has to understand where we stand with credit, getting money in the most legal ways that people wouldn't even expect that we can. Because now you've seen it. When y'all sat down for that whole year and a half, everybody learned that you could become your own boss. You can make your own way. All you had to do is motivate yourself to do so. And that's what I want to do. I want to continue to make people laugh, and I want them to look towards the stratosphere. Like, don't keep yourself out of the box and look outside the box, because there's so much more there for our people. And I'm telling you, I'm going to continue to get out here and make people laugh. And I think that is a blessing for me to be able to, without trying to make people's day better by giving them something to smile about.
Yeah, well, you kind of hit it here. With there's so much going on, uh, that we got to find some positive. It's almost like looking at the glass half empty or half full. You can look at it as, man, we ready to go into a depression. The stock market is crashing. The housing market is getting ready to do this, and we ready to get a new president. And who we ready to go to war? Recession is here. How am I going to pay my bills? Where are my kids going? We can have a whole list of things that we can be concerned about. But at the end of the day, what we have to get back to is just being content and being happy with where we have come from. Okay.
Right.
And that's what I'm beginning to see is that there's so many people that doubt themselves. And that's why I always say, bet on who?
Bet on
Yourself.
yourself.
Bet on yourself. And so many times, Dino, the difference between winning and losing is just somebody just telling you that, hey man, I believe in you. But you know what's the most powerful words that we can tell each other, Dino? And I
What's
think
that?
me and you was talking about this today. The most powerful word that we can tell each other today, we even kind of got away from it, is that I love you.
That
That
is
word
real.
is so powerful. We don't even say that enough to one another. Sometimes we think when we say it to another man, it's being soft or having an affection for another man. No, that's not it. Because I can remember growing up, the old men in the community, back in the '60s and '70s, they didn't have to say that I love you because you know what they used to do when they
They
want
hug them.
when you was on one side of the street and they was on the other side of the street and y'all made eye contact like me and you doing now. What they did was they just nodded their head, and we all knew what that means. We all
Yes.
know, we knew what that means. That meant what's up and I love you, brother. And that's what that means. And so that's what we got to get back to. We got to get back to the leaning of the head. I'm good. You good? I'm good. You good? We good. And we
Yes.
kept it moving.
Exactly.
So that's what I was so proud of when me and you started to link up and we started to introduce ourselves to our. I started to introduce you to my circle. You started introducing me to your circle, and we started saying. Actually, we started. so so those are the type of things that we got to get back to because that is a part of what makes our community great. is that people are looking for something positive. They're looking and they're yearning for something to get them out of that situation that they might be dealing with. You know,
Yeah.
I was looking at a TV show, and the TV show was about two brothers, and they was going through two different journeys.
Right.
And one of the things that they was sticking out was, what is your next? Okay, what is
Mm-hmm.
your next? Or what is your expectations of you? And
Okay.
so, Dino, do you get a lot of support in the community when you're doing these stand-up comedies? What's been the response there?
I'm surprisingly getting more support than I thought I would ever get. There's people from different walks of life that say they just love to see what I do. And I'm like, where did you see me do it? So that means people are paying attention. And that makes me go back to a saying like you were just saying right now, which we don't do enough of, is congratulating each other. And I've been told this many times, and this like it really like it comes to my heart now every time I hear it. Somebody will stop and be like, "Hey, Dino, I see you, man. I see you." And they see me. Like Mr. Jackson, I see you. I see you helping a whole lot of people here before December 31st. That confidence in saying, hey, I'm going to help somebody in my community find a home. And I've been able to do that with your help. So I'm ecstatic at the fact of the matter that I've made networking a thing of ease for me to meet people in power. And I'll say empower, sir. I'll say empower. I've met people in power that can empower people. Like I empower people by just talking to them and giving them a quick little glance of what I can do and how I can help and how I'm not going to leave your side. If you need my help, I'm going to be there to help you because I want to see you flourish. So then you can see me later and be like, hey, I see you. You see, you like the way I put that together? You
Yeah,
like the way I put that together? Yeah.
yeah.
Now, as Lumiere Never Broke would say, look here, hear ye. You will listen to Lumiere when I say, bet on yourself.
Oh yes, oh yes. And so let's talk about Lumio. Let's talk about Lumiere. How did
Okay.
you come up with him?
Lumiere, the character Lumiere Never Broke, came from the podcast All That Smoke. We wanted to have a regal version, which we wanted to showcase some of the things. Back then, it was how English actors were getting all these parts, playing American-made parts, like hood parts, and parts in movies where you could have got a man from the U.S. and I wanted to play a Englishman, a very confident, Scronewall, the one who makes the money and is confident because I can walk like I know it doesn't stink because it doesn't because I never broke. And that character came to life, and people loved. Which I thought I was being arrogant. I was like, I'm being too bougie. People are gonna tell me, don't do that guy no more. And they love the character because it's a confidence thing with Lumiere Never Broke. Lumiere is for the people. He's confident, and he makes it to where you look at him and you'd be like, never broke. Yes, he's never broke because he never worries about money because he makes sure that he puts financial literacy as one of the top things that he needs to do because he never wants to be broke. He wants to know the information. He wants to get out there and meet the people. He wants to network with millionaires. I've heard this a couple of times, and if you haven't already heard it, you hang around four broke people, you're gonna be the fifth. You hang around four millionaires,
You're gonna be the fifth.
you're gonna be the fifth. So that's what I kind of I brokered the world with getting to Lumiere's confidence and his way of making people laugh, but then still being serious about the things and the issues that's going on. They love to hear Lumiere speak, and I love to give them the factuals of how Lumiere is because they listen. And I mean, it's been a great thing to have that character transfer over, not just to black people, white people, Spanish, any Haitian. I've been speaking to people in China with Lumiere, and this is a real thing. And it's that language barrier. It goes well past just saying hi and hey, how you doing. Now it's a language. There's no language barrier. There's an open sense of language when I bring this character to the forefront for people. They want to hear what he has to say. They want to know what he knows. So I'm really, like I said, I want to thank everybody and anybody who is a character. Who is a fan of the character Lumiere Never Broke, and I just want y'all to keep on watching. Thank you. I want to say that out loud.
Well. See. Once again, they didn't realize that I can be at not serious also, because one of the things that I pride us on is that we always have the impulse of our community.
That's
And
true.
right now, our community is really, really crying because a lot of people are frustrated and they don't see any hope. And comedy has always been a part of the experience in our community. If we was in
Yeah.
Harlem, Harlem Renaissance, we have a lot of things that went on in Harlem. Uh,
Yeah.
Even with the Madam C.J. Walker building, we had a lot of things that went on in Wall Street. So, a lot of times we just got to laugh.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's not as bad as what it is, and it's not as good as what it can be. And so that's one of the things that I always tell myself is that it's not as bad as what it could be, but it's not as good as what it could be also. So
Yeah. We got a long way to go. We can still, but we still got the push now that people are now understanding that, like you said. Go ahead, say the saying, Cepeda.
the cavalry is not coming.
They're not
The
coming.
creek is rose, the levee is giving way. It's up to us to save us. You got to bet on yourself. Ain't nobody going to give you nothing. And so, a lot of times, what I've seen is I'm a real big advocate with financial literacy.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. You should be.
And one of the things in our community is we like to look the part without being the part. So I hear a lot of people say, Cepeda, you don't have this and you don't have that, or you ain't got this, or you should have that. And this is what you should be doing, and this is what. But at the end of the day, in our community, we want to see it before we believe it. And
Right.
and so when you see things in the stock market, once you see it, that means that the price of it has went out the roof.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to be profitable, you want to get on it when you got to see the vision of it. And I
Right.
always look for things or people that I want to invest with. I look for two things. One, where are they going?
Mm-hmm.
And two, what is their vision? Those are the two things I look for. Where are you going and what's your vision? Those are two
Yeah.
separate things, and we confuse them because you can have a vision but going the wrong way. You can have
Definitely going the wrong way.
and
Tunnel
you can be
vision.
going backwards. And so that's what I've seen in our community is that a lot of times we want us to show me first, but we don't expect that same expectation when we go outside of our community. We'll take it at face value. We'll walk by faith when we go outside of our community. But when you're talking about doing something in our community, man, you better be all toes down, 10 toes
Yeah.
down, 3 toes up. So we got to be careful that we don't kill ourselves trying to make sure that we're all good. So one of the things that I enjoy is helping our people. Is helping the community that I'm in. They must look like me. You blacked out on me. You
Yeah.
blacked.
Someone's trying to call. I'm like,
Okay. So once again, uh, let me ask you some questions that we're going to be getting. So when you became a comedian, did you use that as a tool to release people from their frustrations that they're dealing with in their daily life?
it became like second nature for me. If I seen that you was having a bad day or something was bothering you, and without trying to be too forceful with it, if I could just take a little bit of that off you, just a little bit of that stress, get you to just snicker. Sometimes that's all it takes to change a person's view and to get them to try to understand that it's not me trying to be in your business. It's not me trying to get you to vent to me about your whole life and everything that's going on with you, but to make you smile and to get you to laugh and have a bit of laughter instead of anger, hate, or anything else like that. Yeah, I'll take that any day. I'll take that any
Wow,
day.
wow, wow,
I
wow.
love making people laugh.
You love making people laugh, and he's good at it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sending his information, All That Smoke podcast. If you want to know where Lemio is going to be at next time,
Lumiere.
Lumiere, 317-649-0790 is where you can find out where he's going to be booked at the next time. I say if you just want to get out and get some clean comedy, you can come out, enjoy yourself with your spouse, by yourself, whatever, and enjoy yourself, and you will be cracking up laughing. And it's not derogatory. It's not downing women or downing men. We did not. I did not see that, and I found him to have a conscious of what we're doing. I believe this, ladies and gentlemen, a part of being financially wealthy is having just a little tiny bit of joy.
Yeah, you gotta have some joy.
You,
How you gonna
you
have the
gotta
money
have
to
some
have the
joy.
joy?
And so, we got to figure out exactly how we can start to enjoy one another, because if we don't enjoy one another, I doubt very seriously if we're enjoying ourselves.
True.
So when we talk about the next, or we're talking about what we're expecting or what we're getting ready to do, be satisfied with right where you're at. I'm not saying don't look for the next and
Right.
don't be concerned about the next, but I think we also need to be present right now.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
with COVID and so many things that's going on, our dollars are not going as far. The gas prices are came down a little bit, but we're still struggling. And so a lot of times you just got to put a smile on your face and say, "Hey, listen, it ain't
Yeah,
that bad. It ain't that bad.
it can't be that bad.
It can't be that bad." And I often say, as long as I got breath in my body, I can still move on. And so a lot of times when Dino, when I talk to people, especially about financial literacy, I always hear, "Well, man, somebody this or somebody that, or I can't do." Look at the person in the mirror and say, "Bet on yourself."
Yeah.
For a long time, Dino, I didn't get a lot of people that come on my podcast for a long time. And I still don't have all the numbers that I want.
Right.
But one of the guys that came on the show, and he told me this, his name was James Officer.
Hmm.
And he said this. He said, "We're living in the digital age." And I said, "Okay, I got you. I can receive that." And he said, "But every time we get on the internet or we do something like this, it's telling our youth, your kids, that this is what their grandfather used to do. And they're going to be able to pull this up 50 years from now and see their grandfather doing a show like this."
This is a digital footprint, and that's why I'm so glad that you decided to do something like this, Mr. Jackson. Like, I don't want you to ever think that this is not a stepping stone to something better, because like you were saying in the beginning, our community, the people that are in our community, they are very not trustworthy of the things that another person from their community can bring to them. I want to tell people right now, listen to what I'm saying. Do not feel defeated. Your understanding is skewed. This gentleman right here can open up so much, give you the insight that you need so that you can make your own decision, because at the end of the day, he's telling you and preparing you to be able to bet on yourself. You have to think outside of the box. I don't understand how so many people got complacent with being in the position that they're in after COVID. After COVID showed y'all that you can be your own boss. You can work from home. You can have multiple sources of income. You can work. I don't know why nobody didn't work on their credit while they was in COVID. Like, all you did was sit at home all day, eat bonbons, and wipe your butt with a whole bunch of tissue. Y'all fought over tissue. I'm not letting that go. People were in the store fighting over tissue, Mr. Jackson.
What?
Okay. Yeah.
My
During
goodness.
COVID, everybody, you couldn't find enough knowledge to sit down and maybe think about opening up a bank account. But then you were like, "Oh, wasn't no money coming in." No, the government paid you to sit down. We have to think about this. You are done making up excuses, people. We're done. No more excuses. Let's find out what you need to know with your financial situation. Let's know what we need to know about our credit. Let's know that, hey, if you're able to pay $800 to $1,700 in rent, you're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself.
That's right, Kim. Bet on yourself. Be your own boss.
Be your own boss. Who doesn't want to sit up there and wake up and make their own way, but still be able to make a way for your family? Like I've been telling people, the tangibles is a lot because they people look at a lot of black people and be like, you used to be a criminal. I know you've been locked. You got a record, don't you? Yeah, maybe he does. But guess what? Did you also know that people that have that type of background are some of the best salespeople ever? If they was to sit up there and be taught something legally, a legal hustle that could put them in the sense of what they were already doing before, which they could flourish at, they'll be some of the best salesmen and the best business people ever. They need a chance.
Hey, one of the things that I was talking to a group of people. I was asked to come and speak to a group of people, and they was really speaking bad about people who sold drugs. And I said, well, actually, those are the best salespeople because that person cannot advertise what he's doing because it's illegal. But guess what? He sells his product without advertising. I said, and if I can get that person to do something that he can advertise and make the same type of money, it's going to be a win-win for
win-win situation. I mean, you can flourish. You can flourish when you're taught the right thing and led down the right path. The whole thing is, like I was told by Mr. Jackson, there's not many people in our community that utilize and know how to use their credit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's the cavalry right there. The cavalry ain't coming. The creek is rose, the levee is giving way. It's up to us to save us. So once again, let me ask some. Let's get to some more questions. Let's get some more questions, Dino.
Yes, sir.
When you started the podcast, All That Smoke, what was some of the drawbacks that you had?
Now, the drawbacks that I had, the gentleman that I wanted to start the podcast with wanted to drag his feet, and he didn't want to spend the money that was needed. So I spent the money. I went and got the money to make sure that the podcast went along, and I made it my own and got copyrights for it and everything. There was another drawback because people, they know me personally. They know that I like to smoke marijuana, and they was like, no, it's all about smoking weed. I was like, no, it's not. I said, you need to get that out of your mind. We're going to talk about everything. We could talk about the legalization of it. We could talk about that. But more importantly, let's talk about them legalizing carrying a gun without a license. And for years that you've been paying as a gun owner or a licensee, you've been paying to hold the license. Now they don't want you to pay. See, it was more of a thing of I had to bring it out to the light that we're going to talk about every subject matter that people try to sweep up under the rug. And when I started making people notice that, they started noticing something different about it. Like, yeah, we're going to talk about this. It has to be spoke about. But then I also got people in the community, entertainers, artists, singers, rappers, all that, to go ahead and get on the show also and tell us their views. Okay. And it became something that spread throughout the community because now you're looking at people in your community that you can walk up to in a gas station and ask them, wow, hey, was that real? Was that you on All That Smoke podcast? And they're like, yeah. And yeah, that brother's serious. Speaking about me, and I love the fact of the matter that people, they reached out to the people that I had on the show to ask them about what was really going on. So, hey, I'm loving the fact of the matter that I stayed with it. It was a whole drawback to try to make people really understand that I wasn't just doing this for the prestige, not just to have people look at me. I also wanted to make you laugh, and I did some things on the podcast that would be considered skit comedy to get some people to laugh. Sometimes I would show up on the podcast with a green wig on and glasses. Okay. Because I wanted to be, every show had to be different, and every show had to deal with some kind of subject matter that really made you think. So I always had a point in the beginning of the show was what's smoking. and we would have a what's smoking topic, and we would talk about the most latest trend or whatever was going on in the world at that time.
Wow. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, in our own community, we have brothers out here that are conscious, that is doing the right thing, that is always about helping our people out. Sometimes we can be so heavenly minded to where we know earthly good. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the cavalry is not coming. The creek has rose, the levee has given way. It's up to us to save us. See, his phone started trying to go out, but one of the things he got
I'm back
us.
on it. I'm back
So
on it.
he back on it, hustling hard. So
Hustle
once
hard.
so so tell me this, Dino, what is coming up within the next couple weeks, the next couple months, in reference to how do people get you, can come out and see you? They wanna come out and have a good clean time. How can they get in contact with you? How can they promote what you're doing? How can they come out and see you?
Well, this is a big thing, and I'm glad that you mentioned it, Mr. Jackson, because I'm about to go ahead and mention a few people in my life that have really helped me and have progressed the things that I'm doing. Laughing Out the Gate. I have a show with them. Chris, Naptown Chris, Ashley Fox, great people. They have shows all over Indianapolis. And if you want to get to know more about what they're doing, it's called Laughing Out the Gate. Also, Margarita Mondays. Pretty Funny Entertainment, Mike Shaw and Aisha Brown, some of my biggest supporters since I had started back into comedy, and I made myself a headliner, and I had Mr. Shaw and Aisha Brown on my show. Aisha was hosting, and Mr. Shaw got on there and did stand up back and got back into the flow of doing stand up because I was had a platform for him to get onto. And then another one is the Can, Big Mike G. That's the clean comedy set right in the neighborhood off of 16th Street, where across from Spades Park. Very great community setting because it used to be a community of violence and drug dealers and drug people. Like who just you just see them out on the corner laid out. Now that community has changed. And I want y'all to come and visit this community and come see some of the things that I see now. The Margarita Mondays, Laughing Out the Gate. I support them all.
Wow. So once again, if y'all want to come out, call him up. He'll tell y'all where he's going to be at. Once again, we got to get out here. It's up to us to save us. If you've had a hard time, ain't no use you going home being mad and frustrated and yelling. That don't help. Put a smile on your face, stick your chest out, look yourself in the mirror and say, listen, look up, world. Here I come.
Here I
So
come.
you gotta bet on yourself. You can't always do everything by yourself.
Right.
But you can bet on yourself because guess what? I live by this. If I'm better, I'm gonna make him better. And if he's better, he's gonna make me better. And if I'm better because he's better, then that means we are gonna be better.
Exactly. And I
So
want to make sure that everybody understands too. When you laugh, you let out a certain chemical in your body that's healing.
endorphin,
Laugh. It's
yeah.
endorphins. It heals you. Laugh.
Yeah. So that's what I did. I was laughing, and I didn't think I would like that character, but I did, and so it was very therapeutic because after a hard day's work, somebody makes you laugh. You kind of forget about the problem that you might have just had. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, when you're trying to start a business, you're gonna have ups and downs. It's
Yeah.
important that you laugh at some of the things that go on.
And
Don't
learn from them.
always get bent out of shape. Sometimes it's just a matter of time before you get back on top.
It's a
So
learning experience.
yes, yeah, use it as a learning experience. And so one of the things that Dino is taking advantage of and killing the community by storm is he is making us laugh again. He is the Harlem here in Indianapolis. So when people start saying, I want a comedian, guess who I'm starting to refer? Dino. Guess why?
Thank you.
Because that guy that he presents is he's magical. So if y'all have not If you want to take you and your spouse out, let me help y'all out, brothers. You want to take you and your spouse out, call Dino and say, hey, listen, where are you going to be at this Saturday? Where are you going to be at next week? I want to bring my girl out and let him know because, call Mr. Jackson, let him know, hey,
Yes.
this is it. But let him know and take your girl out and go to one of the shows. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Sisters, if y'all want to do something with y'all brothers, us brothers, don't get mad at us and say we don't never take y'all nowhere.
Because that's a
Go
lot.
out and reserve some tickets, get some tickets, call Dino, say, I heard about you on the show. I want to come out and see if you're funny or not. And I guarantee you, and if he ain't funny, call me and tell me about it. And I'm going to get on the show and I'm going to say that Dino ain't funny. But we got to support one another. We got to make each other feel good about what we're doing, how we're doing it. And we have a lot to look forward to. Sometimes, Dino, what I realize is this. Sometimes we miss our mark because we're so focused on what we don't have till we never appreciate what we do have until it's gone. When it's gone, then that's not the time that you should be appreciating it. You want to appreciate stuff before it's gone because after it's gone, the value of it goes down. So you want to make sure that you guys are doing the right things. We're going to be having our network night. Dino is going to be one of the hosts. It's going to be on the
22nd.
The 22nd. We're also going to have the credit education and
17th.
the home ownership class on the 17th. So let's break it down. If you are wanting to get your credit straight, guess what you can do? You can come on and learn what you can do to get your credit straight. Then secondly, if you own a business, it is free. You can come and showcase your business.
Bring them business cards and bring that determination and that confidence that you can sit up there and network with people to go ahead and make sure that your business is heard by the community.
Yeah.
You betting on yourself.
So yeah, you betting on yourself because last network thing, I'm gonna have to give the lady a call, the vegan. My goodness, that vegan food was so good, so delicious.
It was awesome. It was awesome, and I'm scared. Vegan food scares me because I'm not a rabbit, Mr. Jackson. I told you, you're gonna have to go ahead. You're gonna have to cut a beef portion of something. Somebody gonna kill a cow in here. But I was very happy with the food. That wonderful woman's food tasted like me.
And we had C.E.O. that was here. A lady that had C.E.O. We had our DJ is phenomenal. We have a guy that's rocking. If you have not heard our DJ Wright, he's off the chain. Guess what? We have two DJs. We have Mr. Wham.
DJ Wham.
He's the one, if y'all didn't see our social media, he's the one who's creating some of the reels along with Colin Media. Also, we got one of the guys who had the Mr. Bowman, who had the CMOS. That was
that's Mr. Bowman. Hey, Mr. Bowman.
Yeah, that's Mr. Bowman. He was at our last show, networking. Hey, listen, if you have a business, this is a must for you. You got to come out. You have to talk about your business. You have to. It's just a must. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the cavalry is not coming. The creek is rose. The levee is giving way. It's up to us to save us. Once again, it's up to us to save us. We gotta start networking with one another. We gotta start, as my grandfather used to say, we gotta love one another. We gotta love one another. And so, we're just doing our part in our own community. We're not asking for your permission. We're just doing it. If you have a business, share it with somebody. Call, inbox me. If you want to help get finance for your business, give us a call. We can help. The 17th. You write this date down because we're going to be
9/17/2022.
So we're going to be out here. You're going to see more of us doing things in the community as we get ready to go into the holidays. The weather's getting ready to change, ladies and gentlemen. That means that It's going to be opportunities for you to share things with your families. Make sure that you are doing what you can do to make sure that you are living your best life. Yes, uh, Banji, oh, let's natural beauty. Yes. Let's get that up here. Banji, Au, natural best by me, CMOS. So yeah, once again, our people not only did we use some of their products, they getting on here advertising. Now
They should.
this is my show. They ain't supposed to be on here advertising, but they gonna do it. This is what my people do. This is
But
what
they
my
better be at that networking party. Hey, the 22nd. We expect to see everybody who was at the last networking party at this networking party.
and guess what? I don't want to see you if you don't bring nobody else. Bring somebody else. Don't be selfish. You're going to be blessed by it. We're going to show up. We're going to show out. I might even let Mr. What's that guy's name?
Lumiere?
Lumiere. We might let him come in and host the mic, and I might have a little something. But see,
Okay.
Lumiere charged too daggone much, man.
But
That's why he's never broke.
Now that's why it's never broke. But now, Mr. Jackson, now you got to understand. You got to say that big word that people in our community understand the best when it comes to this networking party. Free, people. Yeah. It is free. The drinks are free. The food is free. The knowledge is free. The networking is free. This is free. This is what we're going to give to you free.
You can't lose with this. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the cavalry is not coming. The creek is rose. The levee is giving way. You have to bet on yourself. We want you to come out and support us. We want you to bet on yourself. We're going to be hosting another homeowner seminar. Come and be a part of the movement of home ownership. Yes. We want you to be a part of owning your own home. We want you to be a part of the 100 people that's coming in and buying a home by December 31st.
Don't be discouraged. That's the biggest thing. Don't be discouraged, and don't sit up there and let your mentality tell you that you're not able to own a home. Confidence is going to be key, because this gentleman right here, Mr. Jackson, has an innate way to make it easy and simple for you to understand where your faults were and get you on that path to owning a home. I am firsthand a person that has been helped by this gentleman.
And I say it all the time. It's okay to fall. I said this all the time. It's okay to fall. It's okay to be turned down. Just like my grandson, he falls down all the time. But every time he falls down, he gets back up and he learns from his failure, because you got to balance yourself. You got to balance yourself. You know what? Let me give you 3 tips on how you can balance yourself.
Do that.
1, quit going around people who is not going in the same direction that you're going.
They are draining you.
They are pulling you away from what your real goal and mission in life is. 2, don't be afraid to say no.
I say no all the time. I tell you no.
Yeah, sometimes saying no frees you from saying yes. Sometimes saying no frees you from saying yes. Some things that you just don't need to do.
No, I will not.
And then the last thing you got to do is, yes, there's so many things out here. There's so many programs out here, but you have to bet on yourself. At the end of the day, the person in the mirror is the one who decides if he's going to fall or if he's going to rise. Bet on yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, you guys have been a strong supporter of Mac Capital Investment Group. We are a growing company. We are trying our best to make sure that you have relevant information in our community to make sure that you can make educated decisions. You know what? You can't make no more excuses now. If you got children that need help, guess what? Sit down with them on our show for 1 hour, and I guarantee you'll see a transformed kid. Because if they can sit down for 1 hour at home, you know that they can sit down for 1 hour at school. So Once again, the cavalry is not coming, ladies and gentlemen. The creek is rose, the levee is giving way. It's up to us to save us. Dino, I enjoy you. I love you, brother. I thank you for coming out and supporting. We tried to keep it light. You said, hey, we want to have comedy here. We want to laugh. You
We'll
know,
laugh a little bit.
next week we're going to have an insurance guy on here. That's what's going to be talking about. But
Yeah.
we're going to get back to the business. Okay?
Yes, sir.
We're going to get back to the business. As we grade going to the holidays and we grade to start having a midterm elections, we're going to be politically current. And as the housing market starts to adjust, I'm going to talk to y'all about the housing market next week. Then, not only that, we're going to start next week. Starting next week, I hear so many people, talking about stocks. Where should you buy it? Where should you buy it? And I'm so confused
They need
because
to understand it first.
some people are selling don't have no debt, and don't have credit. Do you know the interest rates went low for a reason? It
Oh,
went low for a reason.
yeah.
So we're going to talk about that next week. We're going to get involved. We're going to make sure that we are going to have relevant stuff that we're going to be discussing on our show. If you have struggled with renting and you would like to become a homeowner, give us a call. Inbox me. I'm a national loan officer. I'm qualified to do loans here in Indiana and some other states also. If you are struggling with becoming a homeowner, give me a call. I can help you. If
Mr.
you,
Jackson. Oh,
yes,
I
sir.
didn't want to cut you off. I was just going to say, people, now, y'all know in this time we are dealing with a housing market that's not
Well, one of the things that we can do is make sure that the information that we give the people is relevant, is hot, is right now, is right off the skillet. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, on the 17th, it's the 17th, right, Dino?
17th is the credit course. The 22nd is the networking party. And I was
Okay.
trying to say before I was getting a phone call,
Yeah.
property management companies are taking people down. They are putting you in debt. They are putting you in eviction states and all that. Let's not let this happen. I don't want to see no more of my people, sitting down and defeated by a property management company. When you're able to pay rent, you can be able to own your own home.
So once again, we want to be a home promoting a home. We want to make sure that we have realtors on standby, ready to show you a home. Only thing you got to do is look at the person, bet on yourself, come on in, check us out. We have a great facility up at Keystone and the Crossing. Once again, the cavalry is not coming. The creek is rose and the levee is given way. It's up to us to save us. You have to get in the game. Credit is what is going to propel us and get us out of this rat race that we're in the next generation. Don't be deceived about the recession. The market is just correcting itself. We've had a good run. The market has just corrected itself. The interest rates couldn't stay at 2% and 1% for that long without being some major problems. So make sure that you're betting on yourself, that you have not given up on yourself, and surround yourself with people that is going in the same direction that you're going. Sometimes that's a hard thing to do.
It
But guess
is. You're going
what?
to lose some people.
But guess what? It's needed. It's needed. I always say that there's four type of people in the world. There's ones that subtract from you. There's ones that multiply you. There's ones that divide you, and then there's the subtraction, multiply, addition, and multiplication. So those are the four math equations. Those are the four type of people in the world. What are you? Where are you? Are you a multiplier? Do you bring addition? Do you divide? Or are you doing subtraction? That's only on you. You can answer that question. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the cavalry is not coming. The creek is rose. The levee is giving way. It's up to us to save us. So we're moving on. Dino, I love the way you make me laugh. He cracks me up all
Thank you,
day.
sir.
So we're laughing. It's just therapeutic when you can smile at somebody and and brothers, what's up? What is in you today? How are you feeling today? How are you feeling, sisters? How are you? Are you good? Are you whole? Are you happy? Are you living your best life? And if you're not, ask yourself, what has caused me not to live my best life? It's that simple. What is causing? And you know what? Once you ask yourself that question, delete everything that's not helping you. Just delete it. Just push
Thank
delete,
you. Yeah.
delete, delete,
Yeah.
delete, delete, delete. And then guess what? And then you start living your best life. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out and supporting us. Let's start coming in. Oh, one more announcement. We have a website on Facebook that is Bet on Yourself. Go to that, like it, follow us. We're going to be having some great information out there for you. We're going to be sharing some good information now, y'all. Y'all got to go to the other channel. I think 96.3 just changed their channel to 100.9. So
100.9.
yeah, so what? So y'all gotta switch over to the next channel. Come on out, love, follow us. Go on YouTube. Go on YouTube. Follow us on there too. Subscribe. We're gonna have some good stuff for you. Don't want to miss out. We got the 700 Club this coming. I know I've been talking about it. We wanted to kickstart it. We didn't have the support that we needed, but now we went and revamped it. We're going to be doing the 700 Club. We got some great things that's coming, but if you are looking to buy a home, give us a call. We can help. I can help you. Once again, Dino, last words.
Hustle hard.
Hustle hard. Hustle hard because the cavalry ain't coming, the creek is rose, and the levee is giving way. You got to hustle to get it. And I'm not talking about hustling all your life, but you got to be hustling hard. Once again, thank you,
Exactly.
Dino. Thank you, Dino.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you,
Cavalry
Mr.
ain't
Jackson.
coming.
And I
Listen.
thank you, Man Capital Investments.
Absolutely. That's what they said. Like I said, come out, support. We got network night. It's free. Come out, showcase your
Free.
business, tell your girlfriends about it, tell your homies about it. Let them know, hey, we're here to help you. Bet on yourself. Till next week, keep betting on yourself because Calvary ain't coming. The creek is rose and the levee is giving way. It's up to you to save you. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Dig that.